Tell me the truth, Mama. Did you kill my father? Everyone knows how he doted on you, gave you everything, yet you took his life. Why? Obinna, my son, I swear to you, I would never harm your father. I loved him more than life itself. In the heart of the bustling city of Lagos, where dreams thrive and shadows linger, a mother's love and a son's mistrust are tested beyond measure. Here, secrets don't just hide, they haunt. What would you do if the one person you loved most was the one you feared most? This is Obinna, a young man torn between love and hate, a man haunted by the shadows of his past. His father is gone, and all that remains is the woman he now believes to be his father's killer, his own mother, Ngozi. Ngozi had spent her life giving everything for her family, but now her only son, Obinna, stands before her, eyes dark with accusations. Tell me the truth, Mama. Did you kill my father? Everyone knows how he doted on you, gave you everything, yet you took his life. Why? Ngozi took a deep breath and answered, Obinna, my son, I swear to you, I would never harm your father. I loved him more than life itself. But to Obinna, these words mean nothing. His heart is filled with a cold, seething anger that no words of his mother could thaw. Ifeanyi, Obinna's uncle, who had assumed the role of a father figure after Obinna's father's death, whispers suspicions into Obinna's ear, fueling the young man's hatred. Ifeanyi had always resented Ngozi, and with her husband gone, he found the perfect opportunity to turn her son against her. Look at her, Obinna. He said, does that look like the face of an innocent woman? Why do you think your father left this world so suddenly? She wanted him out of the way to enjoy her freedom. Obinna's heart twisted as doubt settled deep within him, mingling with his sorrow and anger, becoming an unbreakable chain binding him to his uncle's words. Obinna's wife, Amara, has been witnessing the ongoing conflict between mother and son. She is torn, wanting to support her husband, but also feeling compassion for her mother-in-law. Amara, a gentle soul, was caught in the storm of accusations. She saw the sadness in Ngozi's eyes, a pain that only a mother would carry. Her instincts told her that Ngozi was innocent, but how could she convince her husband? One evening, while Ngozi and Obinna sit in their modern living room, she pleaded with him, Obinna, please, don't turn away from her. She's your mother. Do you truly believe she would harm your father? Amara, you don't understand. I saw it in her eyes. I saw the guilt, said Obinna. Amara felt helpless, but she resolved to try and help Ngozi, hoping to bring some peace to this broken family. Chidinma, an NYSC member working in the neighborhood, also witnesses Ngozi's daily struggle. Seeing her resilience despite her suffering, she approaches Obinna, hoping to bring him to his senses. Chidinma, a young and idealistic woman, had seen the world's harshness, yet she believed in justice. She confronted Obinna, her words gentle but firm, hoping to plant a seed of doubt in his heart. Obinna, please reconsider. Your mother is suffering for something I don't believe she did. If she were guilty, wouldn't she have left long ago instead of enduring all this pain? Obinna scoffed, unwilling to hear her, but Chidinma's words lingered, just enough to unsettle him. Meanwhile, Ngozi sits alone in her dimly lit room, her face etched with grief, as she reminisces about her late husband and the family she once held dear. Ngozi's heart ached for her son. She had lost her husband, and now she was losing her only child. But as tears streaked down her face, she whispered a prayer, a hope that one day Obinna would understand her pain. Late that night, Obinna lies awake, haunted by memories of his father and the words Chidinma and Amara have spoken. He begins to question everything he's believed. For the first time, doubt crept into Obinna's mind. Could it be that his mother was innocent? But the anger within him fought back, unwilling to release him from its grip. As days turn into weeks, Amara, weary of the conflict, gives Obinna an ultimatum, threatening to leave if he refuses to reconcile with his mother. Obinna, I cannot stay in this home if you continue this way. She is your mother. If you can't forgive her, then I don't know if I can stay with you. Amara's words struck Obinna like a dagger. Torn between his love for his wife and his hatred for his mother, he found himself at a crossroads. His mother, Ngozi, sits alone in her room, reflecting on the life she had before everything crumbled. She whispers to herself, questioning how everything went so wrong. Ngozi was once a woman of joy, laughter, and love, but now all she had were the ghosts of her past and a son who viewed her as an enemy. After days of internal conflict, Obinna decides to confront his mother one last time, hoping to find the truth. Obinna approached Ngozi's door with a mixture of anger and desperation. This would be his final confrontation, a moment where secrets would either be revealed or buried forever. Ngozi, if there is even a grain of truth left in you, then tell me what happened that night my father died. But Ngozi stood frozen, reminiscing about the family she once had. Will Obinna find the truth he so desperately seeks, or will this family remain shattered? Secrets, once uncovered, have the power to heal or destroy. Once they were a family built on love and laughter, and in Obinna's young heart, his mother was his world. But time, like a river, has a way of sweeping away even the strongest foundations. Meanwhile, Obinna Uncle Ifeanyi true intentions begin to show he speaks with a neighbor, revealing his true motivations. He hints at wanting control over the family's small piece of land that belonged to Obinna's father, Chukwudi. He explains, the boy Obinna is easy to manipulate. As long as he believes his mother Ngozi is guilty, he'll never ask questions about his father's land. And when he finally washes his hands of her, I'll take what should have been mine all along. The seeds of deceit that Ifeanyi had sown were not out of concern for Obinna, but out of greed. His envy had poisoned this family, though none were yet aware of the true roots of his evil. Amara, driven by compassion, decides to meet with Ngozi privately, hoping to understand her side of the story. Mama, please tell me the truth about what really happened, asked Amara. Ngozi finally opens up about her life. Amara, my daughter, I loved Chukwudi, my husband, with all my heart. His death shattered me, but what broke me even more was the way my son turned away from me. I didn't kill his father. I would never harm the man I loved. I believe you, Mama. But Obinna, he's been poisoned by his uncle's words. If only he could see what I see, said Amara. Amara's heart ached for Ngozi, and with every word, she became more determined to bridge the gap between mother and son. But she knew this journey would not be easy. That night, Obinna struggling with his own demons, he sat alone in his room, staring at a photograph of his parents. Conflicting emotions flash across his face. as he recalls moments from his childhood, memories that don't align with his current hatred for his mother Ngozi. As much as Obinna wanted to hate his mother, the memories of her love for him would not fade. Her sacrifices, her laughter, her endless support, they tugged at his heart, creating cracks in the wall of anger he had built. One after an elderly neighbor, Mama Kemi, approaches Obinna. She has witnessed his family's troubles over the years and decides it's time to share what she knows. Obinna, my son, you've known me all your life. I was there when your father fell ill. I saw the pain in your mother's eyes every day as she cared for him. She would sit beside his bed all night, praying for his recovery. But Uncle Ifeani said, Obinna tried to explain, but Mama Kemi interrupts, your uncle has his own reasons for turning you against her. Open your eyes, my son, before it's too late. These words hit Obinna like a storm, filling him with doubt and confusion. Could it be that the hatred he'd held for so long was built on lies? Ngozi begins to pray. She sits in her room, holding a small worn Bible, flipping through its pages as she prays. She reflects on the years spent in isolation and the hope she clings to that one day her son will return to her. In the quiet of her room, Ngozi prayed for the strength to keep going, hoping that love would one day triumph over hate. God, please soften his heart. Let him see the truth. I have carried this pain alone for too long. Meanwhile, Chidinma, the NYSC member, starts noticing Ifeanyi's strange behavior and becomes suspicious. She decides to confront him directly, curious about his motives. Uncle Ifeanyi, you speak against Ngozi, but why are you so determined to see her suffer? What do you stand to gain? Uncle Ifeanyi glares at her. Mind your business, young lady. You're here to serve the country, not meddle in family affairs. Chidinma's suspicions grew stronger. She began to see Ifeanyi's lies and manipulation for what they were. But how would she reveal the truth to Obinna? One day, Amara finds an old letter in Ngozi's belongings. The letter, written by Chukwudi, speaks of his love for Ngozi and his hope that Obinna would grow up to be a man of honor. As Amara reads the letter, a particular line caught Amara's eye. To my beloved Ngozi, you have been my strength and my joy. Our son, Obinna, will be our legacy. Raise him to be wise and kind. I trust you with my life. Amara's heart breaks as she realizes the love that existed between Ngozi and Chukwudi. She decides that Obinna must see this letter, hoping it will awaken a part of him that still believes in his mother. Amara rushes quickly and hands the letter to Obinna. He reads it in silence. His eyes well up as he reads his father's words, feeling the weight of his own actions pressing down on him. Obinna whispers, Father, did I betray the trust you had in me? For the first time, Obinna felt the heavy hand of regret. The image of his father and the words of his mother's innocence clashed against the bitterness he had clung to for years. After reading the letter, Obinna decides to approach Ngozi one last time, determined to learn the truth for himself. As he enters her room, she looks up, her face a mixture of hope and apprehension. Mother, I came to listen, just this once. Tell me what really happened to my father. Ngozi's heart swelled with a mixture of relief and sorrow. The moment she had waited for was finally here, yet the pain of her son's mistrust was still fresh. I loved your father, Obinna. He was my world. When he fell ill, I did everything in my power to save him. But fate had its own plans. I would never harm him. He was the love of my life. Suddenly, Uncle Ifeanyi, overhearing their conversation, burst into the room, panic in his eyes. Enough of this nonsense. Obinna, do you really believe her lies? She's deceiving you, said Uncle Ifeanyi. Why are you so desperate to stop her, uncle? What are you hiding? Asked Obinna. Ifeanyi's face darkened as he realized the walls of his deception were closing in around him. For years he had controlled Obinna's beliefs, but now the truth was clawing its way to the surface. Ifeanyi found himself trapped. The web of lies he had spun was now threatening to strangle him. Obinna watches Ifeanyi's face twist with anger and fear as the truth finally comes to light. With nowhere left to hide, Ifeanyi's true colors emerged, and the lies that had torn this family apart began to unravel. But would Obinna find it in himself to forgive his mother and perhaps himself? Cornered and desperate, Ifeanyi finally confesses the truth. He had harbored envy toward Chukwudi and saw his death as an opportunity to manipulate Obinna, hoping to take control of the family's land and resources. Yes, I lied. I wanted the land, the property, everything Chukwudi worked for. I knew if Obinna believed his mother was guilty, I'd be the one he trusted, said Ifeanyi. Obinna's heart sank as the truth unfolded. The hatred he had held for his mother was misplaced, and the man he had trusted all these years had betrayed him and torn his family apart. Obinna turns to Ngozi, ashamed, and asks, Mother, can you ever forgive me? Ngozi, tearfully embracing him, Obinna, you are my son. I never stopped loving you, even when you turned away. I forgive you. Obinna, filled with guilt and remorse, takes his mother's hands, promising to rebuild their broken relationship. The family finally gathers in Ngozi's small room, filled with the warmth of forgiveness and understanding. At that moment, the past began to heal. Through forgiveness, Ngozi and Obinna found a way back to each other. Amara's unwavering support, Chidinma's courage, and Mama Kemi's wisdom had all paved the way to this moment of redemption. Realizing he has no place left in the family, Ifeanyi leaves the community, disgraced and shamed. He disappears, leaving the family to start anew. Ifeanyi's greed and deceit had nearly destroyed this family, but his absence left space for peace and healing. The weight of anger and mistrust finally lifted, and a sense of freedom filled the air. Obinna and Ngozi walked together, their laughter echoing through the crowd as they rebuild their relationship with Amara by their side. Obinna smiled and said, Mother, from now on, I will protect you and honor our family. I will make up for all the lost years. Ngozi said proudly, That's all I ever wanted, my son. Let us live in peace and remember your father with joy, not with pain. Sometimes the people we trust the most can lead us astray. When anger blinds us, it's easy to believe in lies and let bitterness steal our happiness. But forgiveness and love can heal even the deepest wounds. This story teaches us the importance of looking beyond anger, questioning what we're told, and finding strength in family and forgiveness. And so the tale of Ngozi and Obinna comes to a close, a journey that began in anger but ended in love. Through forgiveness, this family found peace. We hope their story inspires you to seek truth, forgive freely, and cherish those you hold dear. Thank you for joining us in this journey of redemption and love in the heart of Lagos. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more heart-touching tales and captivating African stories. Until next time, may love and peace guide your path.